Hey YouTube, it's SoulPrime13 again with another video review. Today we're going to be looking at our most recent crossover release in the Autobot Agent Knight, who is based off the Knight Rider series. He is based off the car KITT. I'm not super familiar with the whole original show. I know that there was a reboot show several years back that I did watch a few times with my grandma. She apparently was interested in it. And I thought it was a decent show, but it was definitely not the same as the original from what I understand. Anyway, here we have the box. We got some artwork of Agent Knight there. We got our crossover logo. We got our basic transformation steps up here. We got our Transformers logo. We got product shots. We got product shots. We got some G1 artwork with a bunch of blurbs and whatnot. We got our tech specs and our little blurb there. And we got our legal jargon on the bottom. And that's about it for the box. We also get our lovely instruction booklet. So there's that. And here we have the car itself. And it's a very neat car. I believe it's Pontiac Firebird. Actually, it says on the box. I got tossed it a little too far. Yes, Pontiac Firebird Trans AM says right up here. So there's that. He does have some electronics, which we don't see too often these days. There's a little button right here on the hood. So there's that. And I think it's different based on mode. Yeah, but you do get some various sound effects there. He does have some voice lines in robot mode. You can open up these headlights, pushing down on the back. So that's a nice little touch. You can do that. He does roll quite well, although he's a little lopsided for some reason here. Maybe it's just how I have the tires lined up. There we go. Yes, rolls quite well. As far as paint apps, there's not too many, but we do get a few. We get a little turn signal, some more headlights, little Autobot symbol there. And your battery case is right here, and he takes 3 LR44s, I believe. It does tell you in the instructions, so no need to worry there. Get some silver and a little tiny bit of red there on the wheels. Some red, and some red, and then... Yep, see, there's a voice line when the electronics shut off. And there's a little car emblem there. But overall, very solid car mode, very sleek. Definitely into that. And if we turn to the other side, we can see that we can see most of the robot bits. We got Type 2 and Type 1 VHS. And we do have storage for his weapons here. The little gun pegs in right here, and the bigger gun pegs in right here. They do fit in a certain way, so. But there is that. He does come with one other accessory, and I'll just point it out real quick. It's this sort of Power Ranger watch thing right here. And it does come packed separately in the box. It just sort of tabs onto his arm. But I'll talk about that more in the robot mode. Do a quick little size comparison. Here he is next to the Ghostbusters Ecto-1. Or Ectotron 1. But yeah, that's our Ghostbusters crossover. So you can sort of get an idea. And I really do dig these older style cars. They're very neat as I knock more stuff over. Need a bigger desk. So there is all that. Very neato. But we'll go ahead and move on to transformation. So our first step here is going to be to unpeg these arms from the bottom, and then we're going to grab it by the wheel and just sort of wiggle and turn it out like so. Wiggle it and bring it out like so. So there is that. Then we're going to open up these doors. There we go. Like so. And we're gonna detach the roof. And that'll loosen up the whole front section. Then we're gonna come down here and open these two panels like so. And coming back here, we're just gonna bring this whole back part of the vehicle forward, and the legs have unpegged by themselves, so we don't have to worry about that. Do that, and then we close these panels back up, and then we bring these feet up, and then flip out his toes like so. Rotate the waist 180, and we have his lower half done. Then we're going to come up here and push down on this panel here on the hood like so. You're going to push it the back and fold it down there. Then we're going to bring the head up, and I'll rotate it 180, then bring it the rest of the way up, and then there are some armatures here. You just sort of bring the chest component down, and it'll all sort of click into place. And for some reason it looks like this is supposed to tab in, but there is just a little bit of gap. It can't go any lower, so don't worry about that. It even actually looks like that on the box. I had to double check, but anyway, we gonna bring the arms around and rotate them forward to orient them properly. Get that head sorted. Then there are some options with what you can do with this, because it is on a couple hinges and a swivel. I find that I like to just bring it down with the glass at the top, and now it's stuck great. Come on. There we go. Bring it down like that. And then you can angle the door wings up if you so choose. But that is essentially Agent Knight in his robot mode. And yeah, he definitely feels very G1-y in his design and transformation. But yeah, I definitely like that. So, well, first let's give him his guns. So he's got his big gun, and then he's got his little gun. And again, he does have this watch here. I'll pop this off. And again, it does just come packed separately. It's got some nice paint on it. It's got some silver and some red. And it just slots into this. These slots right above his wrist. Just like so. And I'm not entirely familiar with any significance this would have had in the show, because again, I didn't see the original show. I imagine it has something to do with David Hasselhoff's character being like the guy who drives the car or something, but I do not know for sure. If you know, feel free to let me know in the comments. I am curious. We do still have voice lines and stuff here, so. And as you can see, now he's talking because he's in robot mode.
Thank you, sir. I am the voice of Knight Industry 2000's microprocessor, KITT for easy reference. KIT if you prefer.
Yep. So, and I'm not entirely sure how many voice lines he goes. I'm not usually too big on electronics. I don't dislike them, but they're not really my cup of tea either. So, but you can see that he has a few. As far as articulation goes, his shoulders are on ball joints. You can get 360, just be careful of the doors. Elbows, you do get over 90 degrees. You get a bicep swivel. His wrists are actually on ball joints, limited ball joints though, but you can get some bend inward at the wrist, so that's neat. Again, he does have a full 360 waist for transformation. He does have a little bit of movement in the hip skirt. You can kick that far forward and all the way back. So there is that. And yep, and we get full splits, mostly because the arms get in the way. I mean, they can really go up. Nice range of motion there. The knees, a little over 90 degrees, partially due to transformation. He does have some up and down at the toe, and we do get that ankle movement. And yeah, I guess there's also this transformation hinge if you want that too. Oh, and the head is on a ball joint, and you get plenty of wiggly waggly. Speaking of which, let's take a quick look at the head sculpt. He's got some nice red goggles there, and you can see his sculpted eyes behind that. Little dash of red at the top, and a silver face. And if you want, you could have him flash people. Yeah. I do wonder about the way they have the arms oriented like this, because they're just sort of on like a hinge on a ball joint. I feel like there should be a better way for them to like connect inward, but I haven't seen anything. But you know, all the joints feel stable and whatnot. I just worry about long-term survivability. But overall, a very solid figure and a very neat crossover. Definitely glad I decided to pick this guy up. And I wonder if my grandma would be interested in this. Who knows? But yeah, it's a very cool figure. I really like how they added a little bit of blue to break up all the black and red, and it's sort of like a, not quite a Sion, it's more of like a sky blue, so it's not quite like Nemesis Prime kind of blue. But again, I really do think that adds a lot, because sometimes when they add a color in like that, it feels like it's, you know, garish and off center, but I think they did I think the shade here works well. And I think, yeah, aside from this hood piece, or the roof piece, I think the windows, I think, are all plastic inserts, so not too much worry about the, you know, clear plastic breaking over time. But yeah, cool figure. And we'll do a quick size comparison here. And I'm going to bring in the Earthrise Dead Prowl. And yeah, I think this kind of shows what I mean by, like, he's sort of G1-y, because he's got the tire shoulders, he's got the door wings, he's got the hood chest. He's definitely similar to the, what is it, the Dodsons? I think that's what these ones were. Definitely takes some G1 design elements into play here. But, you know, like I said, I think that's cool. I like that, because, you know, this is supposed to be an older show. I don't know exactly when the original show aired, but I mean, my grandma knows about it, so it definitely wasn't yesterday. But yeah, nice little, well, really, he's actually pretty big. He's like, I'd say he's probably larger Voyager size. In fact, let's bring in a Voyager class figure. Just, yeah. So he's a pretty decent size, which I would certainly hope for, considering he was, you know, a $50 toy. I don't need him to be super complex, I just want him to feel like he's worth the price, and honestly, I do think he accomplishes that. But yeah, very thrilled with this figure. I think I'm going to give this guy a 9.5. out of 10. Because honestly, my only worry is just how these shoulders will hold up over time. Everything else feels very solid. I like the design. I like the colors. It's cool that they added some electronics in, especially considering that it was supposed to be, like a somewhat sentient car before it was a Transformer. So I think that really does fit here. And yeah, just a very neat toy. Very glad to have another crossover figure. We have seen some announcements for some of the upcoming crossover figures. I know we got the Naruto, we just got the Sonic announcement. There's, some of the T-Spark ones like the Rathalos, and I don't think we've heard anything on the Zoid Prime since its announcement. But, we're definitely getting a lot more crossover figures these days, for better or for worse. But I definitely am digging these figures. So, I hope that we continue to get some really cool ones. But I think that's about it for this review, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. This is Soul Prime 13 saying transform and soul out.